Hello everyone, and welcome to today's deep dive into living wisely in the modern world. Life today can feel like a whirlwind, endless notifications, work pressures, and the constant noise of social media. Yet, amidst this chaos, there's a timeless philosophy that can guide us to live with calm, purpose, and resilience. Stoicism. Originating in ancient Greece and Rome, Stoicism offers practical tools to navigate challenges. And today, we're going to explore 5 Stoic habits that are perfectly suited for our fast-paced, modern lives. Whether you're juggling a demanding job, navigating relationships, or just seeking inner peace, these habits will empower you to face life's ups and downs with clarity and strength. So, settle in, take a deep breath, and let's embark on this journey together. Our first Stoic habit is to focus on what you can control. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who faced immense pressures, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This principle is at the heart of Stoicism. In modern life, we're bombarded by things we can't control. The economy, other people's opinions, or even a sudden traffic jam. These can leave us feeling frustrated or powerless. But Stoicism reminds us to shift our attention to what's within our reach. Our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Let's consider a real-world example. Imagine you're scrolling through social media and you see a critical comment about your work. Your first instinct might be to feel angry or defensive, but Stoicism teaches us to pause and ask, can I control this person's opinion? The answer is no. What you can control is how you respond. Maybe you choose to ignore the comment, or perhaps you use it as feedback to improve. By focusing on your response, you reclaim your power. In practice, this habit can transform how we approach daily challenges. At work, if a project deadline shifts unexpectedly, instead of stressing about the change, focus on what you can do, like prioritizing tasks or communicating clearly with your team. In personal life, if a friend cancels plans, you can't control their decision, but you can choose to use that time productively, perhaps by reading or exercising. To build this habit, try this exercise. At the start of each day, write down one thing you can't control that might frustrate you, like the weather or a colleague's mood, and one thing you can control, like your effort or patience. Over time, this practice trains your mind to let go of the uncontrollable and focus on what matters. By doing so, you'll feel less overwhelmed and more in charge of your life, no matter what the modern world throws at you. This habit isn't about ignoring challenges, but about choosing where to direct your energy. It's a powerful shift that brings calm and clarity, especially in our unpredictable world. The second habit is practicing self-reflection, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher and advisor to Emperor Nero, wrote, "Each day, examine yourself. Look at what you did well and what you could do better." This practice of nightly reflection, or examine, is a way to learn from our experiences and grow wiser over time. In today's world, we're often too busy to pause and think. Between emails, meetings, and endless notifications, it's easy to lose sight of who we are and what we value. Self-reflection gives us a chance to reconnect with ourselves. It's like holding up a mirror to your mind, allowing you to see your thoughts, actions, and habits more clearly. Here's how you can apply this in modern life. Each evening, set aside 10 minutes to reflect. You can journal, meditate, or simply sit quietly. Ask yourself 3 questions. What went well today? What could I have done differently? And what's one thing I learned? For example, maybe you had a great meeting where you spoke confidently. That's something to celebrate. Or perhaps you snapped at a colleague during a stressful moment. That's an opportunity to consider how you might handle stress better next time. Let's take a practical example. Suppose you're trying to balance work and family life. Through reflection, you might notice you're spending too much time on your phone at home, missing out on quality time with loved ones. This insight allows you to make small changes, like setting a no-phone rule during dinner. Over weeks or months, these small adjustments compound, leading to a more balanced and fulfilling life. Self-reflection also helps us in high-pressure situations. Imagine you're preparing for a big presentation. By reflecting on past experiences, you might realize that practicing in front of a friend helped you feel more confident. So, you decide to do it again. This habit turns every day into a learning opportunity, making you more adaptable in our fast-changing world. To start, try keeping a simple journal. Write down one success, one challenge, and one lesson each day. Over time, you'll see patterns in your behavior and gain clarity on how to live more intentionally. The third habit is embracing imperfection, a concept Stoics call amor fati, loving your fate. This doesn't mean passively accepting everything, but finding value in life's challenges and setbacks. Epictetus, another Stoic, said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and you will go on well." In modern life, we're surrounded by images of perfection, curated social media feeds, flawless influencers, or colleagues who seem to have it all together. This can make us feel inadequate when things go wrong, whether it's a failed project, a missed opportunity, or even a bad day. Stoicism teaches us to see these moments not as failures but as part of the human experience. Take a common scenario. You apply for a promotion and don't get it. The natural response might be disappointment or self-doubt. But a Stoic would ask, "What can I learn from this?" Maybe the rejection highlights a skill you need to develop, or it opens the door to a different opportunity. By embracing imperfection, you turn setbacks into stepping stones. This habit is especially powerful in today's comparison-driven culture. Instead of feeling inferior because your life doesn't match someone's Instagram highlight reel, focus on your own journey. For instance, if you're learning a new skill like coding or cooking, accept that mistakes are part of growth. Each error teaches you something new, bringing you closer to mastery. To practice amor fati, try this. The next time something goes wrong, like a delayed flight or a disagreement, pause and say to yourself, "This is an opportunity to practice patience or understanding." Over time, this mindset reduces stress and builds resilience, helping you navigate the unpredictability of modern life with grace. The fourth habit is practicing simplicity. Epictetus taught, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." In our consumer-driven world, we're constantly tempted to buy more, do more, and be more. But Stoicism reminds us that true contentment comes from focusing on what's essential. Think about your daily life. How much time and energy do you spend chasing things that don't truly matter? Maybe it's the latest gadget, a bigger house, or constant scrolling to stay in the loop. These pursuits often leave us feeling empty. Simplicity, on the other hand, brings clarity and peace. For example, instead of filling your weekend with endless errands or social obligations, try prioritizing one meaningful activity like a walk in nature, a good book, or quality time with family. At work, simplicity might mean focusing on one key project instead of multitasking to the point of burnout. A practical way to start is by decluttering, both physically and mentally. Physically, try clearing out your workspace or wardrobe, keeping only what serves a purpose. Mentally, reduce distractions by setting boundaries, like turning off notifications for an hour each day. These small acts of simplification free up space for what truly enriches your life, relationships, personal growth, and health. Simplicity also applies to decision-making. In a world with endless choices, from streaming services to career paths, we can feel paralyzed. A Stoic approach is to ask, what's the most important thing right now? By focusing on the essentials, you make decisions with confidence and avoid the overwhelm of modern life. The fifth habit is facing fears with preparation. A Stoic practice called premeditatio malorum, premeditating on potential evils. This isn't about dwelling on negativity, but about mentally preparing for challenges so they don't catch you off guard. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." In modern life, uncertainty is everywhere. Job insecurity, financial stress, or unexpected health issues. By visualizing worst-case scenarios and planning for them, you reduce fear's grip. For example, if you're anxious about a big presentation, imagine it going poorly. Maybe you stumble over words or the tech fails. Then, plan how you'd handle it, practice extra, bring backup notes, or have a tech contingency. This preparation makes the actual event feel less daunting. Let's apply this to a common modern fear. Job loss. Instead of worrying endlessly, a Stoic would prepare by building an emergency fund, updating their resume, or learning new skills to stay competitive. This proactive approach turns fear into action, giving you confidence to face uncertainty. To practice this habit, try setting aside 5 minutes weekly to think about a challenge you're worried about. Ask, what's the worst that could happen, and how would I respond? Write down your plan. For instance, if you're concerned about a tight deadline, you might list steps like breaking the project into smaller tasks or asking for support. This exercise builds mental toughness and keeps you grounded in a world full of unpredictability. As we wrap up, let's reflect on these 5 Stoic habits, focusing on what you can control, practicing self-reflection, embracing imperfection, living simply, and facing fears with preparation. These timeless principles, drawn from philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, are more relevant than ever in our complex, fast-moving world. They offer a roadmap to live with intention, resilience, and peace. Here's a challenge for you. Pick one of these habits to try this week. Maybe start with a 5-minute reflection each evening, or practice letting go of something you can't control. Small steps lead to big changes. Over time, these habits can transform how you navigate work, relationships, and personal growth, helping you thrive in the modern world. Thank you for joining me on this journey into Stoicism. If you found this inspiring, share it with someone who might benefit. And let's keep exploring how to live wisely together. Until next time, stay calm, stay focused, and embrace the Stoic way.